Despite these challenges, Jamaica had a good year in regional cricket competitions in 2008, 2009, and from all indication will do well also in 2010. The challenges now facing the administration of cricket in Jamaica are fourfold. First, the improvement of cricket at the club level. Second, urging Jamaica's representations on the IICB to use their influence to secure the required changes in the administration of West Indies cricket. Thirdly, Jamaica having done so well at the regional level, the administrators need to do everything possible to get Jamaica to produce top quality West Indian players reminiscent of former West Indian players. And finally in this section, the ongoing upgrading of the facilities at all levels must take place at a faster rate. I now move to netball in Jamaica. In the World Championships and the Commonwealth Games at both the senior and junior level of Jamaica, Jamaica has been a force to be reckoned with. At the regional level, our netballers have been virtually unstoppable. Since placing third in the Caribbean Netball Championships in 1984, our national team has won the competition every year it has been held since 1988. Likewise, in the Caribbean Under-16 tournaments, apart from placing second in 2005, the Under-16 netball team has won the tournament every year it has been held since 1998. What are some of the reasons which have accounted for Jamaica's successful performances in netball at the international and regional levels? Jamaica has, in all sport, but more so identified in netball, naturally competitive athletes. Netball has one of the most dedicated, loyal, and committed band of volunteers to be found anywhere in Jamaica. Not that we do not have volunteers also in other sports. The provision by the Jamaica Netball Association of sound professional administration, and I would wish to share an experience with you. The association has built up significant social capital with corporate sponsors predicated on trust and accountability. In my numerous discussions with leading members of the corporate community, many members could not hide their admiration and respect for the level of transparency and accountability which the JNA applies in the utilization of sponsorship funds. Some national associations need to emulate the JNA in this regard. 4, the Jamaican netball team, despite economic and other resource constraints, train all year round. The national squad is constantly being replenished by the best of the identifiable talents. Although not sufficient, both the state and corporate Jamaica have been able to provide the JNA with funding and material support. Despite the fact that the national netball teams have demonstrated that they have the capacity and capability to maintain their international ranking, they have fluctuated between sometimes being third and consistently being fourth in the international rankings. The powerhouses being New Zealand, Australia, and England. The major advantage which Australia, New Zealand, and England have over Jamaica is their strength of resources. It is very clear, therefore, that if Jamaica is to make the transition from being ranked third or fourth in the world to become number 1, every effort will have to be made to find the necessary resources. I now turn to track and field in Jamaica. The current jewel in the crown of Jamaica's sport is that of track and field. It is that which now typifies brand Jamaica. Jamaica's excellence in track and field can be attributed to a number of factors. Of all the possible reasons, I wish to just mention 2. First, I will quote a man who has formidable credentials in the administration of track and field, Teddy McCook. He points out that, and I quote, "The main reason, and I think the only reason, for our present performance is that we are keeping a lot more of our athletes that come through the junior system here in Jamaica," end of quote. We have been able to keep a lot more of our athletes who have come through the junior system here in Jamaica because in recent times we have developed homegrown track and field clubs, marshaled and superintended by coaches who can be ranked among the best in the world. The second is boys and girl championships. The Intersecondary School Sports Association must be congratulated for organizing and implementing one of the most successful, in fact I would argue anyone, by saying the most successful annual secondary meet in the world. This year, Champs, boys champs, not girls champs, but boys champs, is celebrating its 100th year, having no competition on only 4 occasions. Coupled with the boys and girls championships are other track and field meets, from the primary to the tertiary level, organized on an annual basis by different entities across the length and breadth of Jamaica. Having achieved so much over the last 100 years, and now that we are at the top of our game in the sprints, what more can be done to improve our performance in this area? I will mention a few points. From a symbolic point of view, we have to signal to the world that we are no longer amateurs. We need to do so by removing the word amateur from the name of the Jamaica Amateur Athletic Association. And I'm not taking away its acronym. It can retain its acronym by becoming the Jamaica Association for the Advancement of Athletes. We need to devise a properly thought out mechanism where, from very early, we're able to discover and properly harvest talented athletes. Talented youngsters must be spotted and placed on a particular path of development from very early, including, most importantly, their academic and personal welfare. The management of the J3s and the MVP track club, in the interest of the sport, in the interest of the athletes, and in the interest of Jamaica, need to sit down, put hubris and idiosyncrasies aside, and work out their differences. Both entities are critical in the continued development of the sport. And the public quarrels, which took place during the Olympic Games in Beijing in 2008, and the World Championships in Berlin in 2009, with the athletes in Jamaica caught in the middle, must not be allowed to happen again. The recent dominance of Jamaican athletes in track and field events, especially the phenomenal performance of Usain Bolt, creates special opportunities for harnessing the exceptional moment in Jamaica athletic history, in Jamaican business development. In pursuing these opportunities, it is necessary to be mindful that timing is of the essence. This is so because in a world where rapid change is the norm, the shelf life of athletes at the top of their game can be limited. The following broad idea could be considered for further development and action by a team with the requisite legal management and marketing skills. The global perception of Usain has transformed him into an instantly recognized icon almost anywhere in the world. He should be assisted to assert an income-generating proprietary interest in his name, which would work both for him personally and for Jamaican products and services that can be linked to his iconic status. Accordingly, it would be worthwhile pursuing the idea of creating a corporate entity that would register in jurisdictions worldwide a legal proprietary interest in a brand or trademark incorporating an iconic image or poster of Usain. Clearly, Usain himself would be a major shareholder in such a corporation. Other shareholders might be drawn from persons and companies who enjoy his confidence and who possess the necessary interest and expertise to pursue the objective. Given the national interest in Usain, both government, through an appropriate agency, might even facilitate the process in various ways by becoming a joint venture partner in the company, at least initially. Hopefully, endorsement contracts into which Bolt has already entered would not legally preclude action being taken along these lines. I now turn to sport and crime. Brand Jamaica has two sides. That which is positive and given additional significance by the world-renowned performance of our people, particularly in music and sport, and that which is negative and which has taken on significant proportions, mainly as a result of the violence for which Jamaica has become so well known. These two diametrically opposed views of Jamaica are ironically largely the product of those persons within the age range 14 to 30. Anthony Harriot points out that, and I quote, only a few developing countries experience violence with such intensity, end of quote, as Jamaica. He identifies only two other countries with such high intensity violence, South Africa and Colombia.